welcome to the Collaboration Over Competition podcast. Collaboration takes competing to the next level, unifying the team and coming out with the best medal. It's coming our assignment for alignment, just check schedules, a group meditation to dead the devils. In the future, I see us floating together, comprised with different combinations, like using multiple minds on one conversation. Imagine having the space for many stars in one constellation. What would the value be if we all felt rich in one compensation? It's the power in numbers, and we can't let nothing stop the mission. I'm optimistic. It's collaboration over competition, rising way above the opposition. Who rocking with it?
Actually, man, when you first got your big bag, what are some things that you bought or investments you made, good or bad?
Man, the first couple years was crazy. You know what I mean? I went from not having money. When I say me, I'm talking my family. You know what I mean? We went from not having nothing to having a little something. You know what I mean? Remember my first signing bonus was like $5,000. I felt like I had made it then. You know what I mean? Able to put that in the bank and see. You know what I mean? It was just a blessing then. Crazy to have those numbers. You know what I mean? You know, you getting FAFSA and stuff like that. You know, that's couple hundred, 1,800 or something like that.
It was good.
You know what I mean? You felt like you could live off that all semester. So that first 5,000 was crazy. The first thing I did was, we caught up on bills. My mom was behind on bills and stuff.
Took care of the fam.
Yeah, absolutely. Took care of the fam, made sure we were straight. And then after that, it was kick it time.
Yeah.
I was telling the story in the barbershop to the fellas the other day when I stopped by. At the end of my rookie year, I probably had like 40 grand left going into my second year. You know what I mean? And after, I didn't have any financial literacy and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So making 285, I'm thinking you get the whole 285.
Yeah.
I've never filed taxes. I've never, had to be on my own. I've never had overhead when it comes to, living expenses and stuff like that. So, at the end of the year, I looked up, man, I'm down to like 30 racks, 40 racks. I'm like, dang, like, am I supposed to be living like this? You know what I mean? And it took me a couple years, to actually get acclimated. It was a blessing that I played 7 because, I could have been easily one of those guys that was in a couple years and went out and broke.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? But I felt like, the fact of me noticing that, hey, man, all my money is gone. I'm going into my second year kind of, it kind of tightened me up a little bit to where, I made a couple smarter decisions going into year 2 and year 3. And by the time I got to year 5 and 6, man, there wasn't nothing else I needed to buy. I done everything. I done kicked it. Then it was more about the longevity in it, saving and the future after that.
That's dope.
For sure.
No, it's amazing that you said that, man, because, being black and breaking that cycle, man, I want to talk about this too as well. Like, like you said, was you the first one in your family, to do that?
Heck yeah.
Okay. So,
I mean, we, a couple aunties and stuff and, worked at Bowens, and my grandmother, she was well off.
Yeah.
Always, adding additions to her house, and, we wasn't just the brokers, we had street money, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, it was, it was an uphill battle, but we had never been exposed to real, legit chump change.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And this is for the brothers out there who breaking that cycle, for the ones who trying to break that cycle. When you first get that big bag, we just heard Elbert talk about his struggles when he first got that big bag.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure there's plenty more examples out there in the world that you can see of other people getting that big bag and made a mistake.
Correct.
So when you get that first big bag, I'm telling you, when you can make change for your family, put the right things in place, man. Go about things the right way. Get a mentor, financial advisor, anything that you
financial advisor.
No financial advisor.
Me and my mama did everything.
Look, let me say, because I ain't touched my first big bag yet, so let me not speak on it.
Yeah.
What will be some things that you advise, for that person that's getting that first big bag that's gonna change their family life, to make sure they go about things the right way?
Everybody get the bag, and the first thing everybody want to do is invest it, spend it, do this, do that. You should do this, do that.
Yep.
Sit on it.
Sit on it.
It ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Take your time. You know what I mean? That's what I wish I would have done.
Yeah.
Like I said, when I was getting it, as soon as I was getting it, I was here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I had, took the time to sit down and actually game plan and figure out, okay, well, I'm gonna take 10,000 and put it in this. Hopefully that gives me 40. I'm gonna put 5,000 in that. That might turn around and give me 10.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I wasn't looking at money like that. You know what I mean? I just my advice would be just sit on it, figure out what it is that you do want to invest in, figure out what it is that you do want to spend your money on, and then make those purchases. Okay. You know what I mean? So don't be impulsive with it, and don't let other people tell you how to spend your own bread.
In fact, so his advice, hey guys, plan, the 5 P's, proper preparation prevents poor performance. So when you get that bag, plan and strategize.
What he said, say it again.
The 5 P's, man. Proper preparation prevents poor performance, man. So
yeah, for sure.
No, I definitely, that's what the youngest need to hear. That was gonna lead to my next question. What are some do's or don'ts for that person, when they do get that first big bag? Obviously, like you say, have a plan.
Yeah.
Sit on it. Any other do's or don'ts, for that person, out there when they get that first big bag?
Man, just be cognizant of, the people that you have around you. I was one of the kids that had one of them horror stories with my agent, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. And that's, a lot of the reason why I didn't get a financial advisor, you know what I mean? I looked up, I'm like, man, I'm not playing with millions, you know what I mean? It ain't like I'm just playing with just all this type of money.
Yeah.
To where I just was like, hey, man, we got it, you know what I mean? And my mama always been my right-hand man.
Facts.
We kind of sat down and, you know what I mean, hey, this is what we spending, this is what's going out, this is what's coming in.
Yeah.
And then we started trying to figure out a game plan. And, after we got, control and settled down a little bit, everything helped, work itself out. It helped in the long run.
Yeah, so your advice again, so a team, get you the right team.
Yeah,
man.
You gotta have a team. You gotta have a plan. You gotta prepare. It's just like anything, you know what I mean? The pastor has what he's gonna say or the topics he want to talk about before he comes in there, and this is just no different with anything else in life. You know what I mean? Even with this interview, we can't just come in here and just be looking at each other. You had to have some type of plan.
There you go.
You know what I mean?
There you go. And that's one thing, in our culture, and especially the times we in now in 2022, everybody want to be a boss. Everybody want to be an entrepreneur.
So cliche.
But
some people don't even know what it is to be a boss.
Man, it's pressure. But planning, and not the plan is just the first step, y'all. Like that's just the first step. We ain't even talking about the action.
Yeah.
We ain't talking about putting in work. We just talking about preparing to put in the work.
Just the dreaming. This is just the thoughts.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? This is just strategic thinking. So. Do's and don'ts, man. Plan and have the right team. I was want to say too. Everybody talks about being a boss and entrepreneur, but one thing I even hear like Rick Ross talk about a lot, having the right team. Yeah. I think that's something that's being emphasized a lot more. Mm-hmm. We've seen the struggles of other people, like you said, an agent story. Just having a bad apple on the team. So assess your team. You know what I'm saying? Have a strong one. I know when I talked to Devontae Harris, he talking about like starting with someone close, like someone you trust. I know you talk about you had your mother as your agent. Yeah. So start with someone close, someone you could trust, man, and we can go pretty far with that. I definitely appreciate that thought. We lead this to the NIL with college sports.
Oh man,
that kind of touches on that as well. What are your thoughts on that? Man, I know you thinking, hey, man, we got a bag in college, man.
Man, I'm on both. I'm on the fence. The kids do deserve to be paid. I felt like they rushed it a little bit as far as just saying, all right, it's open market. Mm-hmm. I do feel like there's a bunch of 18, 19-year-old kids with millions of dollars. You're going to have more headache than you probably ever had. Nice. I know for me, when I was 18, 19, I just told you, when I was 21, 22, I got my bag and I went crazy. You know what I mean? So just imagine these kids at 18, 19 getting the money that they're getting. I don't feel like it's going to be fair as far as with the national competition as far as recruiting. Mm-hmm. You got states like California, Texas, New York, Florida. They have money. You know what I mean? Ain't nobody going to Iowa to play football no more. Right. Ain't nobody going to Kansas to play football no more. You know what I mean? They're going where the money is at. So I wish they would have tried to govern how much money you can spend or how much NIL. What is it? NIL? What is it?
NIL.
NIL. How much money you could get, or they had to put a cap on it. Right now, it's an open market. You know what I mean? I heard Nick Saban on there.
That's the hot
like
topic
Shannon
right
Sharp
now.
said. Them kids did not come to Alabama because they was intrigued with the country. They didn't.
Facts.
They didn't, bro.
Facts.
And as much as you can sit here and you can sit here and say, "Oh, we did it the right way." Come on now. I was in Alabama when Alabama was going 6-6.
Yeah.
So stop playing with me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I was a couple hours away from Tuscaloosa when y'all was middle of the road.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, you know what I mean? Y'all get Mark Ingram and a player here and a player there, and now y'all back on the map. You know what I mean? So don't tell me that them kids was intrigued with Birmingham and they wanted to come see Montgomery.
Facts, man.
Stop that.
I'm so glad you touched on that, man. We talk about what it is now, and hopefully we can see improvements in it. It's not just set in stone, but Man, what really touched me is like we talked about your struggles when you first got that bag. You said you was 23, and these kids getting that same type of bag. Ain't no financial literacy program class coming with this. You know what I'm saying?
And I'll take it a step further. These 18-year-old kids. Now, I was fortunate enough to make it through college, right? That's a whole nother percentage to be able to go from college to the NFL, right?
Boy.
So think about these college kids that really ain't even going to the league. They don't even have it here.
Facts.
They might have it physical. They might have all the physical tools in the world. Yeah, you're supposed to be a first-round draft pick, but you can't get your off-the-field issues together. Them is the kids that we're gonna be giving millions of dollars to. Facts. Now think about their backing.
Facts.
Their family.
And he just got your signing bonus when you was a rookie.
Come on,
if
man.
not more.
More. These kids get more than I got when I was a rookie. So just think about the homeboys that they have, the parents that they have around them.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Like it's gonna affect everyone. People don't realize how much money affects an entire family.
And it's especially in the black community. And we talk about your struggle when you 23. It's tougher when you younger.
Yes.
Managing the people around you.
Yes.
You got
you don't
family.
know.
Yeah, and the funny thing, not the funny thing, but the big topic. So Nick Saban, addressed Deion Sanders and Travis Hunter saying, they paid him $1 million to go there.
Mm-hmm.
And Travis Hunter tweeted, man, how I got $1 million and my mama's still in a 3-bedroom house with 5 kids.
It don't make sense.
You see what I'm saying?
Not in our community. Because I don't know if my mom would have got $1 million at that age. I can tell you where we at.
Facts. So, man, I guess, this topic is to be continued, you know what I'm saying, and seeing how it goes in the future, man. But, yeah, man, I know Deion Sanders talked about it as well. Like, some of these players getting paid more than the coaches.
Yeah.
Deion said, how you get $1 million? I ain't getting $1 million.
We've gotten to a point, man, to where it's more about respect. You know what I mean? Like, it's more about the respect. A lot of with these kids when they're being recruited, man, they want to go somewhere where like I said, culture is another word that's just overused. But the culture, they want to go somewhere where the culture fits them.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Like we're in a day and age where social media is running everything. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I want to see what the locker rooms look like. I want to know what the coaches is like, what the girls look like on campus. What type of campus is it? Is this a campus where the police gonna be tripping with you out with open containers? Is it gonna be a campus to where it's gonna be cool? It's gonna be all that goes into that. You know what I mean?
They don't talk about that with the college stuff. It get deep.
They don't talk
deep
about
on on college videos and stuff like that. But even like with Travis Hunter and Deion Sanders, it looked like culture is kind of where they are. You see what I'm saying?
At one point, HBCU was top of the crop.
Right.
You know what I mean? You was getting first 10, 12 draft picks was HBU players. Mm-hmm. And then it became cool to be on TV.
Yep.
So then who's on TV?
Yep.
Notre Dame, Nebraska,
yep.
USC, Oklahoma, LSU. You know what I mean? So then it became where they go in there and that was they market.
Yeah.
You want to be on TV, son? You got to come to Alabama.
National exposure.
You want to be nationally exposed? You know what I mean? Grambling ain't gonna get that. Southern ain't getting that. You know what I mean? And that's where we ended up spiraling to where now it's you're frowned upon when you want to go back HBCU because I want to go with the coach.
Well, see, that's another thing where technology's kind of leveled the playing field because, like you said, you talk about how the national exposure drives draft stock. Even like with the NBA and the G League and the things they offer. You see what I'm saying? So technology is kind of, I don't want to say even the playing field, but it has affected it, and I guess technology is kind of the reason why you got NIL.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
You see what I'm saying?
Correct.
Yeah.
Which is cool, but you know what I mean? I wish they would have put a cap on it because these kids is finna be.
Man.
UCLA and USC winning the championship in the next 10 years. But one of them is winning one of them.
But let me say this, because before the NIL, I can't remember. I've seen a stat, but just if you see the real numbers of how much these these kids make.
Man. For the university, you mean?
You wouldn't feel as bad. I'm trying to tell you, you ain't gonna feel as bad.
That's why I said I get it. The kids need to be paid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There was several times where I'm looking in the stands and I'm seeing 13 jerseys all over the place. And I'm like, man, I ain't seen a cent from that. You know what I mean? And I'm literally leaving and trying to figure out how I'm gonna feed my kids, or you know what I mean? Like,
and now they got the kids can get unlimited food, snacks, all that now. You know what I'm saying? So
we had that, but we didn't have that. You know what I mean? Like you had points on your card, and of course they manipulated it for the athletes. You know what I mean? To where you probably get a few more points, but we didn't. You know what I mean? We didn't have that at our hands, at our disposal.
Man, that's interesting. It's I guess important. I wonder and. I didn't even plan to get on this topic, but I want to touch on this too because we talk about the parents, right? Mm-hmm. So think about the LeVar Balls of the world. This was before NIL.
Yeah.
Well, you think about what them parents gonna be like now?
Yeah.
And that comes with the social media, like we say. That's the platform now, man. The people see it and they're like, man, hold on. You ain't gotta go to do whoop to do X, Y, and Z. if you can play, they gonna find you. And if I'm good enough, I can market you to where they can go find you.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? If you got your stuff is correct when they come, you can get the marketing,
exactly.
them ad dollars. So
exactly.
That's another thing too. You know, when you come clean, you come correct, your face card good.
And shout out to the Ball family, man.
There we go.
We don't do that enough, man.
Before his time.
Yeah, before his time, man.
Before his time.
3 boys.
And you know, they're talking about that now with Ja Morant's dad.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they had a conversation about just black dads supporting their sons. And they had a little topic about
What's up? Why is that so negative? We didn't ever say nothing about Peyton Manning's dad when they be at all the games and flying all across the country. And
you know why the reality is because they don't see it.